Because now we give the Sejuani away. Is Victor really worth the Sejuani? Because if enemy now puts Sejuani with double melee topside, they are red as well. So it's not hard. You see the Victor. Into Victor you can play Akali, you can play Sylas, you can probably play Yone as well if you want, I'd imagine. So you have a lot of options melee mid into Victor. The Sejuani is a given, and you can't pick top, which is guaranteed melee as well. So isn't that just too much for the Victor? Like, how can Victor be... No, they're splitting bot lane again! Why? Why this... I'm getting emotional. Okay, so in my opinion, splitting bot lane is wrong. I'll try to not get emotional. I already realized it here. I will really try this time to not let this get in the way of proper analysis. Okay? So it stops here. So, without emotions to it, in my opinion, splitting bot lane is wrong. You see very few teams still do this. Take AD carry on one side of the bans and support on the other. I personally think it's bad. Because you get much less power in your bot lane than you would otherwise. You have the triple melee top side from EDG. Broken. I don't know what you can pick top to match this. Thresh. Thresh Jinx game. They're going Thresh Jinx. Taking the Thresh away and going Jinx on 5. So they're picking a combo here. Which is something Fnatic cannot do because they split their bot lane apart. Bot lane is more volatile now than it should be. So that's, in my eyes, good for Fnatic. Because that makes the Aphelios have a little bit of purpose in this game. I think if it was Thresh against Tam, Aphelios has almost no purpose. But now he can maybe, together with Nautilus, make some plays. In the early game at least. Get ahead, snowball, yeah. This is more so possible now than otherwise. And otherwise, I don't know, is it just up to Victor? It's just up to Victor to carry, I guess, from Fnatic here. Yeah, if you can kill Viper here, it's really good for the game. Have to flash out to him. Okay. He's dead. Wait, yeah, he's dead. It's worth, really worth for Fnatic here. Worth. Nice, he's gonna lose a lot. If they can manage to get the next wave in as well, he's gonna lose a lot. Should be fine, maybe he just has to flash. Depending on how he flashes. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, not. And the wave is frozen. Ay, ay, ay. People around mid right now to punish with no TPs on both. Hilly can die here. He has no flash. Hilly has no flash. Hilly has no flash. Hilly's dead. Oof. They got the Sejuani Q, he was dead. Probably can't find much here. Maybe Thresh. Thresh has flash though. Poppy has no flash. Hilly has no flash. And he has flashed it on Aphelios. Should be fine. Looks like they're losing this. Tempo on Jinx as well. This is why I would like tempo on my Aphelios. Because in fights like this, I feel like footwork is useless. I think it's just useless rune actually. Especially when you want to play aggressive as well. So I think if your game plan is to survive, footwork makes sense. But if your game plan is to kill, you either go PTA or lethal tempo. In my opinion, always lethal tempo. But PTA makes sense at least. I think footwork in a fight like this, completely useless. Doesn't offer anything in a fight like this. Actually, this could just be tempo diff, right? Thresh use flash when he should. Aphelios use cleanse flash when he should. Poppy didn't have. Nautilus didn't have. Yeah, it was pretty well played by everyone. But is this just tempo diff? Like, this could just be lethal tempo diff, actually. Also, really good by Thresh to block that hook for Jinx. If Jinx gets hooked there, he's dead. That was clutched by Michael to walk in front of Viper there. Viper didn't have any sums. A bit of tempo diff, I think, there. Hilly is probably just one shot, right? And now tempo is on with Jinx, so Jinx will kill everything here. Both kills the Sejuani. I guess that is the only good thing from this. But these kind of fights are hard to win. The long fights like this are really hard to win. I think Jinx is just too much stronger than Aphelios. Yeah, I know it's zero reason for fighting, but this is how Fnatic plays. They play bot focused at all costs and team fighting. That's how they play. It's gonna be the same later. They're gonna take random 5v5s and you're gonna think to yourself, why are they fighting here? But that's how Fnatic plays. That's how I've always played, I guess, in a way. But in situations like this, when it's not really possible, it feels like it's not really helping the game, you know? It would be better at some point to call it off, but they keep going for them. Here they are again with the 3v3. But they're not a team to call this kind of stuff off. They're not a team to call off team fights. They're not a team to call off bot-centric. They just go for the same thing every game, no matter what. Doesn't matter the draft, doesn't matter the game state. They just do it anyway. And I think there's so many games now where they should play around Humanoid. He's not only doing well in the game, but he's picking champs that are OP. Or they're picking champs for him like they're OP. That are OP. I guess it's the same thing. Like first picking Azir, first picking Victor. They had the Akali game. Was that now? Yeah, Akali against Silas now. But they're not playing around Humanoid, even though he's in a position to carry. They're not playing around mid. When early game is over and he can go side, they're not playing around him on side. They're not even putting him on side. They're just going team fighting. So, in a way, also easy for enemy team, right, to know what is coming, because they're doing the same thing every game. So it doesn't feel like rocket science to match jungle bot. All three games today, right, is Fnatic with weaker bot. They have 2 blind Aphelios games and 1 into Sivir Yumi. So they're playing Aphelios into Jinx 2 games and into Sivir Yumi 1 game. Which also doesn't make sense, because if you are a team that either plays bot or team fight, I feel like getting strong bot lane should be key, right? That's how the game starts. That's how you play, so that's how you get going in the game. But they're putting themselves in a position bot where it's not good for them. Against Sivir Yumi or Aphelios into Jinx. Neither of these situations is good for them. So you're not empowering the playstyle that you have. You're not changing the playstyle that you have. You're just running your head into the wall, in a way. Here they are fighting 3v3 again. I don't know if this is the way, guys. I don't think it is the way. But they don't have another way. This is just how they play. Looks like they're kind of FFing mentally here. Kind of checked out, I think. I'm disappointed, yeah. Sorry, the smoothie. No, I am disappointed, yeah. Because I don't think it didn't have to go down this way. I think just making it really hard for themselves. 3 bad drafts today. If you think about it this way, they actually had 3 shit drafts. All 4 games they lost were shit drafts. Sivir Yumi twice. Countered bot 2 times. Yeah, they're not having very good drafts. For other teams it makes sense. I'm not saying Aphelios blind is bad. I'm not saying it's good either. But I think for a team like Fnatic, it's essential you get a good bot lane matchup. It's essential your AD carry can carry. But Aphelios blind cannot carry. So I don't know why they're doing that. I guess you just force now as Fnatic and hope enemy makes mistake. Hope that you catch. Oh, there's so many carries on enemy team. There's not even like one guy you can catch and then win the game from. Because you catch Jinx, you probably all die still. You catch Akali, you probably all die still. So who do you actually catch? Opposite is maybe dead here. Yeah, he's just dead. They're gonna get wiped here. Probably end bot as well. I think that's it, yeah. I actually didn't realize some of this stuff myself, but I had a really good analyst this year, helping me with a lot of things. I actually learned so much from him this year. I really enjoyed it, working with him. I don't even know if I guess the French fans know who he is, but his name is Nalkia. I think he was really good. Anyway, back to the game. Behind the scenes. Jinx Penta. Fiora Penta. Sejuani Penta. At the end now. Probably end now, yeah. 5v3 with Burn. Games today are very one-sided. No close games today so far. And it's kind of hard to commentate on as well, because it's just kind of over at some point, right? Like, I know there are angles for them to win, but they missed their angle. Their angle was humanoid carry, but they missed that angle. Like, the last 5 minutes is just not much. I mean, it's not much to say, right? It's just slowly losing. They can try something, but most likely lose anyway. And for me, it was humanoid carry that was the only way to win this game, and they didn't go for that. In so many other games, they had the same angle, but they didn't go for that either. Seems like they're very one-dimensional in the way they play. No matter what, they play bot, and no matter what, they just go 5v5 after. There's nothing in between. They don't play around mid, they don't play around top, they don't play side lanes. They're just... yeah, two ways, that's it. What a shame. They had really good odds coming into this. And I think with some better drafts, they could have had more agency in the game, because it felt like it was hard to win at some point when they had worst comp all 3 games today. Actually, the last 4 games they played had worst comp every game, I think. 4 games in a row, worst draft, worst comp. It's really hard to win then when you fall behind. Or when you start losing. I don't think it's necessarily a skill gap too much. Like, for sure, the Eastern players are really good, and they're really good as a team as well. Play really well as a team. But for me, it just feels like the drafts are bad, and they're one-dimensional in how they play.